because we know that
Agreed.
the Chiefs own them. And then the Packers are on my list, and I know you guys hate that. But my honorable mentions: Buccaneers, Jaguars, Steelers, Ravens. I don't care that the Jaguars beat them because of that pick six. That game was going to go either way, and the Chiefs are obviously a much better team now than they were. The Buccaneers would actually be a pretty good game, but I would just lean Chiefs. Steelers, Ravens, and then like we know they own the Ravens, so it's like just some way, shape, or form. I think they are better than a lot of these
I
other
think though,
teams.
to the Jags thing though, like my problem with that is like the Jags showed us this week they can beat you in a variety of ways, and that's kind of why I felt good about having. I had to put them in my top 10 because they can beat you with the pass or they can beat you with the run. What can the Chiefs do? They're a one-dimensional team, and they beat the Chiefs, so that's why they're on my list.
You're right.
They currently hold a two-game advantage.
You're right. But I feel like
Yeah,
with the Jaguar,
I know.
but you're right in the sense there's a caveat. So you're right in the sense that the Jaguars can beat you in a variety of ways. I think they don't mean to do that. I think it just happens to them. Like
I
I
think
know
they
they want to
never.
run the ball,
Yeah.
but like
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence, like the way he won that game versus the Chiefs was like. So, did you see the game-winning touchdown? I mean, like it's not like this precision
he
execution.
fell, he
It's
fell
like
twice.
yeah, like he fell twice. It's just like the Jaguars. It's like they're like accidentally like what are they 6-4 right now, 7-3? It's like an accident. You know what I mean? Like they
So
just so
if they
happen.
can
Go ahead.
if they continue to lean into the run and they rotate running backs the way they did against the Chargers, that's a dangerous team.
Yeah, but I feel
So
like
they did that. They did that without Travis Hunter and they did that without BTJ. And that's a huge thing for me on offense is being able to run the ball. They showed us they could do that. And who's their head coach? Liam Cohen. Where was he at last year with the Bucks? Like he's the one that made the Bucks offense so dominant last year. And now he's doing that again with the Jags. And their defense is
I gotta,
nasty. They
I gotta
played
get
Pistons.
going. I gotta get going,
all
but
right, Dan. We'll take it from
catch you
here.
guys
I may have to.
later.
Peace. I may have
See
to
you, Danny.
rearranging my screen real quick because now it's just us two on the camera. So just one moment, Joey, and then we can continue this discussion. So just a second, everybody. All right, and then I will also put the thumbnail in there for you guys because
Why not?
why not? Exactly.
What else do you want to cover here? Because I feel like we got a
So
lot
I
of it.
I actually I want to talk about the Jaguars real quick, and then I will look back and see if there's anything it looks like we missed. But for the Jaguars, for me, um, they looked so good versus the Chiefs from like defense, and then like yeah, I'm kind of you know downplaying their offense and whatnot, but they had some nice moments, and it certainly looked rough after they lost Travis Hunter and BTJ's been kind of hurt all year. But what just like really stuck in my head is right after that Chiefs game, they play the Seahawks. The offense looks bad. We know it's a problem for them. They lose. It's kind of close, 20-12. That's a pretty good game. But then they play the Rams and they lose 35-7 in that London game. That really should be like a home game for them. And I just don't trust Trevor Lawrence like at all leading this offense. Like I do agree the run game should help. And it should be
I would lean into the run game for that purpose.
I think I really like what I see from the Jaguars moving forward, but I don't know that means I'm ready to say that they are a team that I expect to be like top 10 by season's end. So,
My my reasoning for top 10, number one, their defense. Number two, their run game. If I was like the GM of the Jags, what I would do with this offseason is I would get rid of Lawrence and I would find a new quarterback because I feel like that's what they need is a new quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is not it. I feel like he's in the same tier as Kyler Murray at this point of just like more of a name than actual production. And I think that's how you can fix the Jaguars and make them a real threat is to get a better quarterback because Trevor Lawrence is not that guy. I don't know.
I have more allegations.
Go ahead.
So, the 2 weeks prior to this Chargers game, the defensive performances, 29 points to the Raiders in overtime. They did clutch up on the last play and stop a 2-point conversion. So they did finish the job. So, but still 29 points to the Raiders in Brock Bowers' return. Maybe you can write that off. But 36 points to the Texans with Davis Mills. with the way this offensive line has been broken, that's a game I would have expected Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker to take over along with the rest of this defense. And it's just like, how can you come away from the inconsistency of like, yeah, I see the highs. I'm not saying that. Like, I agree. They have a good ceiling. Like I said, I like where they're going, but I don't see them as a top 10 team just because they have these are bad losses. Like if they were on my top 10 list, they would probably have three of the, let's see, the Seahawks game is not a bad loss. The Bengals loss is bad. Joe Flacco. I mean, I get it, but
Any given Sunday from Joe Flacco.
any given
But
Sunday
at the end
for
of the
him.
day, to answer your question, it's like I got him at 10 just strictly off of them currently holding the 7th seed. That's kind of why I put him there. Like they're holding on to that 7th seed. They had a big win against the Chargers. They stomped the Chargers, and that's why I had to put them there.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
if they were tied with the Chiefs would be there. But because they have that it's not a 1 game advantage, it's a 2 game advantage. So just because of that, I can't justify having the Chiefs over them.
You know, it's weird because I was looking at this today, like a lot of the standings and stuff, and there's a lot of glaring things because I just and I come off as someone who's less who if anything goes against any form of recency bias. Like I love like sample sizes and seeing an entire season and like the playoffs and just like the whole shebang. Not that I wait until the very end to make any sort of change of mind, but I just I always try to pick something to be some sort of milestone for a team. There has to be one particular thing or a big moment. There's a lot of teams right now with like 7 wins right now, and they got playoff seeds right now, and I'm not sure they're gonna hold on to those spots. Take for instance the Chicago Bears team. Like I do like what I'm seeing from them, but am I really to believe like you have the Lions winning the division, based on your top 10 list, and you said that, so you're projecting, a team that is only 1 game behind, but they're projecting them to go ahead and take that division. Is there anywhere else like you feel like that's gonna happen? Like with this Chargers team being 7-4, like I definitely think this Chiefs team is gonna jump them. This 49ers team at 7-4, like I just feel like they're gonna suffer more losses and someone else is gonna get that 7 seed. Maybe I'm just not that excited about the idea of some of these broken teams making it into the playoffs, but what do you think? 49ers, Chargers, Bears.
I think the Ravens will win the division. I think that's kind of where we're headed. They've won 4 straight. They started 1-5 and now 5-5. They're a game back. Rodgers is banged up. So I would say the Ravens are going to get in for that reason, but does that knock the Steelers out, or does that knock the Steelers down to like 7 and have them sneak in? Because now it's like the Steelers and the Chiefs. That's going to be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of have a hard time. I mean, the Bills are what? They're like a game and a half behind the Patriots. I don't really see them. It's possible. The Patriots have an easy schedule though, so I don't really know
Yeah.
how much they're going to be able to make up for that. The Jags are 2 games back from the Colts. Let's see if they play. If they play a head-to-head game, that'd be huge.
I believe they do. They play one. I think it's the
Oh,
second to last. It's the last.
They have 2 games.
They have 2 games. That's
No.
huge. Actually, that is so big, and I can't believe we didn't talk about that yet. But keep going.
So, yeah, the Colts have a lot to prove against the Jags. It depends on if the Jags, they show up or not. But historically, the Jags own the Colts, so that's something
Yeah, I
to
think
keep
you're
in
right.
mind. I'm right. They historically own the Colts. Doesn't matter who's quarterback for the Jags. They find ways to beat them. So that's something to look out for. The Broncos pretty much won the AFC West, beating the Chiefs. They have like a 4 game advantage now. They would need the Chargers to fall out of the playoffs, which is not. It's not out of like not
Do you think
unrealistic.
that'll
But
happen?
I don't know. They're 3-0 in a division, so that's kind of big. They're
Yeah.
3-0 in the they're 3-0 in the division, and then they're 6-2 in conference play. So they have they have a huge advantage over the Chiefs for that when it comes to standings, which is like another thing. They would have to be a game ahead of them. Is that going to be possible to make up 3 games on the Chargers? I don't know. Here's my bold take. NFC East pod. We know the Eagles. A team hasn't won a division
Oh yeah.
back-to-back years in like 25 years, whatever that is. Can we really rule out Dallas winning the division? Because realistically, they are 3 games back from the Eagles, and they play the Eagles. But will the Eagles lose? I mean, really, I was hoping the Eagles would have lost games against like the Lions, and then who else did they beat recently?
They beat
Uh,
everybody. They just
the Lions and Packers. I was hoping those were going to, snowball into losses, but it didn't happen. That's kind of why I have them at number one because they were finding ways to win these games. I don't care the score. These games matter and they're winning them. But when it comes to the division, they play Dallas. They got the Bears, the Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. So if the Commanders can find a way to split, the Bills win. Bears, Chargers can maybe win. Dallas has to win on Sunday.
I do
It's
not
not
think
out.
the Commanders will split. I will say that.
I don't know how out of I don't know if it's out of if it's not possible or not. We're gonna have to wait and see. It would have to be a historic choke job that we've seen them do before. So can we rule it out? No. Is it likely? Probably not. But it would be interesting to see if they can break that division curse and go back to back. And then
I think there's a good chance that they do. I'm not gonna lie.
and then in the NFC South, we got the Panthers. They play the Bucks this week. They're a game back, so that's another big game for them. The Panthers are a dangerous team. They have one of the best run offenses in football, and their defense is pretty solid. So and Bryce Young's playing great football. He
Yeah,
broke
I
that.
know, and it's like every single time you think like he went down, he like fell, he got stepped on. It looked like he fell. It was like fourth down, I think. It's just like every time you're like, man, this is just not gonna work. And then Bryce Young comes back, breaks a record, wins the game. It's just like you love watching him play. That's first of all, but I would say second of all, it is impressive what Dave Canales and Bryce Young has done so far, and I think this is what people have been hoping for from this sort of Rams river of coaches that has flown from the Buccaneers and then two other teams. That theory, Dave Canales, we have Liam Cohen with the Jaguars.
Wasn't he an offensive coordinator for the Bucks?
Who's that?
Wasn't he an OC with the Bucks or no?
Who?
Dave Canales.
He was. He was also the offensive coordinator in Seattle in Geno Smith's first season.
It wasn't it Canales, and then it was Liam Cohen, and whoever they got now
Josh
for the
Grizzard.
Bucks. Yeah, so is he going to be hired by somebody?
Hopefully the Giants.
Yeah,
Hopefully the
Todd Bowles.
Giants. And what's up,
Would you
chat?
consider that?
I see you guys in the chat, by the way. How we doing? What's up?
Would you consider that the Todd Bowles tree?
Todd Bowles tree?
Yeah, for these OCs getting jobs, or is that like
I think
how do you get?
McVay's from Shanahan. Shanahan style. But
We haven't really addressed the Niners or what we think of them.
yeah, and they're man,
I just don't believe in them.
we have to talk about them. I haven't believed in them like since the injury bug really took form in like week 5 or whatever. But who hasn't gotten hurt is Christian McCaffrey, and he was there when they went to the Super Bowl, and it's just like him being there just seems like this offensive satellite that just makes sure they could put up. And now Purdy's back, like I think he's better than Mac Jones. I understand I'm not a Purdy like sympathizer or anything, but I just think he brings some play extension that that's what that offense needs, that system needs that, because it sets up everything else for you, but. CMC being there is huge. They're getting healthier. Kittle's back, and he's been playing really, really well. And the defense, yeah, it's going to be a problem. But as long as Shanahan in the offense is viable, I think they could even like upset someone in the first round of the playoffs, like a team that like actually has the full package and can make it all the way. It's eventually going to crash and burn for this Niners team. I just don't know when. Could be in the playoffs. Could be them missing the playoffs. But Kyle Shanahan he should be the coach of the year. To be honest, from what we've seen from him, what he's done with this team, with any quarterback,
Mac Jones
is
comeback player.
It's like unheard of. I don't know any other offense or coach, team where they can lose. They can just produce and play the same with any quarterback. And now we're seeing it on the defensive side. Bringing Saleh back. Clearly, the guys he has under him are doing an awesome job too. Kyle Shanahan should be the coach of the year. I think that's the big takeaway from this 49ers team.
I don't have much to say other than that, but I want to put a pin in that. I just want to